How do NCAA Division I schools commit their hockey players? Now, obviously, there's 100 different methods, there's 100 different aspects and criteria and characteristics and events that can change all this, but here's the general guidelines for you. And again, things might change, especially with the CHL NCAA agreement that just passed a couple weeks ago. So let me preface by stating the rules around when they're allowed to communicate with players. Now, on the player side, a player or a parent can email, send videos, send transcripts, whatever they want to a coach at any point in time. However, the coach is not allowed to respond until January 1st of their sophomore year. On January 1st, they are allowed to respond or reach out to players by email or by text or even a phone call to these players. Now, as of January 1st of your sophomore year, players can take unofficial visits. Unofficial visits mean you and your mom, you and your dad decide to drive up to school, go introduce yourself to the coach, go walk around, take a look. That is an unofficial visit. An official visit is when the school pays for you to get there. So they'll fly you out, they'll put you in a hotel, they'll put you on campus with certain players, they'll pay for all your food and take care of you. That's the difference between unofficial and official. So as of January 1st of your sophomore year, you can start taking unofficial visits. The coach cannot make you a verbal offer until August 1st of your junior year. So January 1st, sophomore year, start talking to coaches. Come August time, then they can start making verbal offers to you. As of August 1st of your junior year, you can also start receiving official offers. National Letter of Intent, the NLI, you can start receiving that as of August 1st of your junior year. So, to preface, those are the guidelines set by the NCAA for coaches to follow. This way they're not recruiting 9-year-olds. And obviously I'm exaggerating when I say that. When it comes to how they recruit, it is not scouts recruiting for them. It is the assistant coaches for every Division I team that travel to see these players play that they're interested in. So the way it usually works, roughly, either somebody mentioned a name, whether it's an agent, a friend, the Zamboni guy, they saw it on a newspaper, they saw it on TSN highlights. From there, the coach will do his own digging. If he likes what he sees, he personally will go take a look. The assistant coach or the associate head coach will go watch this person play. They don't have scouts going and watching and reporting to them. It's the assistant coaches doing this job as well as coaching the team. So oftentimes they are traveling throughout the week to see some games. Here's what the process looks like. As I mentioned, a coach has a list of names, whether he got them from a Zamboni guy, agents he trusts. He will then do his own research. Now with the great technology we have, he'll look at stats, he'll look at video. If he likes the two of those things, he'll most likely either come and see you play and then from there reach out to set up a meeting or say hi to you in person, or B, he'll reach out, say, hey, you're looking great, we're gonna come watch you play and let you know, and then come and watch you play. And then if they like you, then they'll meet with you and discuss with you and your family. Have a conversation about the program, the school, they're interested in you. Let's set up a time to visit. Now we're going to talk about you're a junior so you can have official visits. When they set up that time to talk, they'll talk about an official visit. We would love to have you down for a visit. We'll fly you out, stay with a teammate, show you around campus. You'll be able to stay and watch a game. We'll feed you, we'll take care of you. They'll take you out to a nice restaurant, have you meet the head coach, go through academics to show you what programs there are, and the whole 9 yards about why you should pick their program. Towards the end of your official visit is when they decide whether or not they make you the offer. The reason being why I say towards the end, because when the coach meets you, he gets a first impression. There's some things he's going to want to ask you, get some answers to, and there's some things that he's going to look into a little more once he meets you. If they're bringing you on an official visit, they really like you. Now, if they are making you stay with a player or with a team, it is a test. There are certain NCAA programs, I'm not going to name names, that we know for a fact, based on conversations, where they will put the player with certain people that are on the teams and see if they're a good fit. And towards the end of the visit, we'll ask the player, hey, do we recruit this guy or do we let him go? And depending on what that player says, decides your fate. This has been told to us by multiple NCAA Division I coaches, where if they do not think he's a good fit for the team for any number of reasons, he will not get offered a scholarship. Now, you went through all this, your visit's done. They will sit down, discuss the verbal offer, and then it's up to you to decide if you want to accept or not. It could be in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years, in 5 years, depending on if you're a junior or senior, or rookie and juniors. There's so many different factors that go into it. But those are roughly the steps. Gets a list of names, watches online, looks at stats, watches in person, meets with you, official visit, offer, commitment. In that order. Now, where will they find their recruits? Oftentimes, in season showcases, right? They watch a lot of AAA hockey. They're not going to go watch AA hockey. They're watching AAA hockey. They obviously start with the higher end programs. However, when you're at a showcase, all the programs are there. And like I said, these coaches are coaching full time. So they plan their showcases their events strategically. They're going to go where there's 8 or 9 teams at the same time so they can watch. For example, in Minnesota, there's a super rink with 8 rinks. Anytime there's a AAA event there, every Division 1 school is there. When it's the 18s, when it's the 16s, every Division 1 school is there. Same thing with junior hockey. They're going to try to plan around a time where within 2-3 days, they can watch 5, 6, maybe even 7 hockey games so that they can see as many players as once, because like I mentioned, they're coaching. They don't want to go back and forth daily. They want to coach their team. Most programs are looking both at young AAA prospects, top end ones, and then top end junior players. Now, when I say AAA prospects, it's also prep schools, right? You're playing at a top prep school. You're playing at South Kent, you're getting looked at. You're playing at Northwood, you're definitely getting looked at. You're playing prep school at Edge, you're getting looked at. I would say about 90% of UA Tier 1 AAA hockey is looked at. It's very much about what you do in the right moment. If you know you're going to a tournament or a showcase, you need to stand out, because that is most of the time where most of the scouts are going to be. Multiple teams in one area, multiple games, they can watch it once. That's a heavy amount of scouts every time. I'll go back to my recruitment to Mercyhurst. Now, I had St. Cloud University, Colorado College, Mercyhurst University, Lake Superior State University, Minnesota Mankato, and Clarkson University. Those were the 6 offers I had. My offers came because of Team Canada. I was never recruited out of Quebec. Like I mentioned, Quebec does not get recruited. In the past 15, 20 years, there's 2 guys to go Division 1. Both of them came from the same junior program. Both of them got offers because they went to play for Team Canada East. Now, when I was recruited, first one was Colorado College. They really opened the door. It was exactly that. He saw me play at the Showcase, which was the Canada Cup, which is the kind of all-star tournament before Team Canada where they picked the team. He saw me play there, came up to me, gave me his card, said, I really like seeing you play. I'd love to set up an official visit. Let's talk after Team Canada. Perfect. Then, at the Team Canada tournament, St. Cloud University came up to my father directly. Didn't even come see me because he didn't want to distract me or anything. Hey, we really like your son. Let's set up a time. So they actually sat down and had coffee together, spoke for a couple hours about my grades, what I was looking to study, what kind of person I was. And from there, they said, look, he's been doing great. We're going to keep watching him. And then after the tournament, let's set up a time to visit. As for Clarkson, as for Lake Superior State, Minnesota Mankato, and Mercyhurst, they all came after my Team Canada tournament. When I got home, the next couple days, I got phone call after phone call after phone call. And the phone calls were always the same. They saw me play. Here's what we liked. Here's what we think you need to work on. Asked me a couple questions to get to know me better. What are my weaknesses? How was I in school? What did I want to study? Was I interested in playing college hockey? And in my circumstances, the conversation always steered to, are you eligible? And I said the truth. I had said no, because at the time the rule didn't exist. So you could not transfer over, and I had gone to major junior camps and played exhibition games. And from there, Colorado College said, look, unfortunately, with that situation, we can't wait to see. We're going to move on to somebody else. St. Cloud said, okay, that's fine. We could potentially wait and see. And then he had said he's going to come watch me play again. He did come down and see me play, and I did not play well, and I lost that scholarship. I remember the conversation. He's like, look, he goes, it was between you and another guy. He played well. You didn't. I have to go with him, which is a completely understandable thing. I had one chance and I blew it. Clarkson, they were willing to wait and see what my court case was going to look like, because now I was going to sue the NCAA and fight them for my eligibility, and they really liked me, and they were willing to wait and wait and wait. I went on an official visit with them. We kept talking. They were trying to help with the case, sending me information to use with my lawyer, everything. Lake Superior State, mutually, it wasn't the right fit for me. I met with them, spoke with the coaches, great people, but at the time, with the other offers I had in hand, I wasn't going to move forward with them, so I had just kind of let them know. Minnesota Mankato actually called me after the day I committed to Mercyhurst. They called me 10 minutes after signing. So I had told them, look, I just signed to Mercyhurst, too late. But ultimately, the reason I went to Mercyhurst is because of my suspension. They were the only school that offered me a full scholarship, regardless of suspension or not. And they were going to take the chance and fight with me and help me with the case. If I wasn't suspended, well, then I was going to play for them. If I was just going to get an education. But they were putting all their eggs in my basket, and that's why I went there. But the recruitment process looked the same. They saw me play. They heard my name, saw me at the tournament, looked up the stats, spoke to me, set up a visit, offer, commitment. So parents, it's important you understand those steps, right? It doesn't happen overnight. This takes time. There's a lot of development. These coaches have tons and tons of players to look at. So if your kid's super young and, his teammates committed, it's not the end of the world. I only got offers at 19 years old after Christmas of my 19-year-old year, and I committed 2 months later. Some guys that I know that I played versus didn't have offers till they were done junior hockey. We're talking March, April time is when they got their first offers of their 20-year-old season, and they committed for August. Now with the rule change, of course, junior hockey has changed a little bit. The trajectories, the paths have changed a little bit. But at the end of the day, if your son is doing the right things, he's practicing, he's putting in the work, he will get watched. Somebody will give his name to a coach and they will take a look. These coaches get hundreds and hundreds of names, even thousands, and they actually do their due diligence because it is their job to develop the strongest hockey programs in North America before pro. And all of these hockey players that play Division 1 are great hockey players. From the lowest end D1 school to the highest, these are great hockey players. The NCAA used to have 18 full scholarships to hand out amongst a full roster that can go up to 35, 36, even 40 guys if they wanted to. They've now changed that rule. There's a 26-man roster limit and there's 26 full scholarships. So everybody could have a full scholarship on the team. Doesn't mean they will. That's up to the school to decide if the player deserves it or not, but they can have full scholarships. So these players will now have more opportunities to go to school for free. However, there is a roster limit to 26 players. There used to be no roster limit. So Division 1 is getting even more competitive. So if you're a parent of a child who's playing AAA hockey, Tier 1 AAA, prep school, or junior hockey, they're in the right places to get looked at. When I say juniors, I mean actual junior A, Tier 2 junior A, not Tier 3 junior A, junior A. You know, a lot of unsanctioned leagues call themselves junior A. They're not junior A. They're junior B. They're Tier 3. Tier 2 junior A, AAA at 16, at 18, in prep school hockey, good prep schools, Edge Academy, you know, like the above 50% schools, you are getting looked at, or you are in the right place to get looked at. And when you go to these showcases, when you go to these events, that is when it's time to shine. You need to be on your best because coaches are always looking at those events. That's where coaches are. If you didn't know much about the Division 1 recruitment process, hopefully this filled you in a little more. As always, thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for another AHA video coming soon.